Strongest soldier is. Forgive me, forgive her. Forgive me, Lord.
99.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Rise and shine. Let's get ready to take on the day. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right.
It caught me. Oh, wait a minute. All right. We are back with more Activated Mornings right here on the Clean Fresh Sound with the Morning Angels, Roleza and Dianna.
You say first fight?
No, not at all.
Right.
No. No, we're headed into our next topic of discussion at this time. It's one that I am quite passionate about as well.
Go on,
yes,
girl.
please. So yesterday, there something popped up in the media. A man claimed that he's been with a woman for over 30-something years. They have 4 children together, or do they? they have 4 children together, and when the last child was born, his mother said, that baby don't look like you. But he
didn't look like me.
No.
The baby of mine is mine. Anyway, go ahead.
And we should have had this song this. So
that's true. I just think about it, yeah.
And sorry, I'm not laughing at the man's situation. Come on, we're just, keeping it a little bit jovial. Anyways, so his mama said that baby don't look like you, and he said, I'm gonna dismiss that. But as the child grew, he said, you know what, that baby really don't look like me. So let me go and do a DNA test. Bradham, the child is not his. He said, you know what, let me test the other 3 because there were 4. Bradham, none of them were his children. Now, that is something that has been going on for years. Women have, and that's one of the wickedness of women that I do not agree with. And so the question has been posed, should DNA testing be mandatory at birth? And I say yes, absolutely. 100% done it. Sorry. All right, but I do agree with that. I have always said that I think that DNA testing should be mandatory at birth. I know it's expensive, so I want there to be some sort of there's a word that you use when you take off some of the costs of something. It's not coming to me right now, but in case you remember, or somebody. But I wish for it to be that way indeed, because I don't agree with this thing that women do. And yes, of course, I don't think that we should be having restrictions on us to, keep us in fear of something in order for us to act right. But women continue to do what they do. And listen, as a woman, ladies, I cannot agree with y'all on this one, man. This one is a real heartbreaking, serious. I've seen men just break down. It's really, really hurtful, and I don't agree with it. And for that reason, yes, DNA testing should be mandatory at birth. Do better for 2025.
All right. So one of the things is that so I am in total agreement with Dianna, and the reason being as well too, it's not just. So you said the cost to do the DNA testing might be expensive, but you can't equate that to the cost of raising your child, especially if you play an active role in your child's life.
True.
All right. So
that is true.
The cost to do the test will be very minimal. I am one of those persons who believes that the father's names should be added to birth certificate, right? I do believe that, but before names to the birth, and if there is any doubt, have the test done. All right. So Dianna made mention of an article on Eyewitness News, and about what now is so about January. 4 days ago. No. So I saw my already did. Star, all right. The staff Jamaican newspaper where it says MP declares war on jacket giving. And the jacket is what we call a pig in a bag.
I know,
right? Heroi Clark pushes for birth DNA testing law. So amid shocking claims that an entertainer and sportsman last year found out that they are not the biological fathers of children they have been raising, a Jamaican lawman has vowed not to relent on his pledge to make DNA testing mandatory at birth to determine paternity. All right. He said, and this is interesting. DNA paternity and relationship testing company in Jamaica said 47% of the men it tested in 2024 were not the biological fathers of children they had been raising. 47%, not nearly 50%, not nearly half of them. All right. While the number is significantly lower than the 70% at someone else, another clinic, he said that the figure is still too high. They're also saying that, and what he's saying that whether or not, okay, so the MP did not mince words about the emotional fallout of paternity fraud, describing the deep scars left on families. Whether there is going to be backlash or not, it's really not a concern for me. What we need to do as a country is to do the right thing, and doing the right thing is what I am standing for. All right. He spoke about the broken families that happen, the men who build relationships with these children who are not the father, and it's only when they're taken to court and proven at the point the family would have already been broken. All right. So remember that situation I told you with Neo, and Neo thought that he was the father of this child and he wasn't. I don't agree with it, right? And I know that what some women tend to do is the man who they think is in a better position to take care of this child financially is who they'll put the names to. And I always found it so strange that a woman could take a man to I think this is Dianna's fault, 1 second, folks. All right. I think that is always so interesting that a woman could take a man to court and try to get what do you call that thing? Child support without having to prove that he's actually the father of the child. And when some men do not pay the child support, they find themselves in jail. So how is it that the laws have changed, things have changed, and as a result of the change, there are no scientific methods that can be done to prove whether or not. So I can understand back in the day of that happening. But before we even try to say that a man should be paying child support, let's do the right thing, because we just never know.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think as some other persons are also expressed that concern. You should verify that he is the daddy before you make him pay. And I mean, the audacity of some women to take a man, because some women do take the man to court knowing that the child is not his, The audacity of you to take a man to court for child support for a child that does not belong to the man. Man, this is why DNA should be mandatory about all of these things. Ladies, I can't side with y'all on this one. This is a wicked act, and I have to be on the men's side. DNA testing, make it mandatory.
But you know what it is that I sometimes wonder about what men do in this situation, because if you have been in a child's life since the child was born, for all you know, you probably were there present when the child was being born. All right?
Some of them I've seen some of them where they say they'll continue to stay in the child's life as long as the woman allows it, because they've already built this bond and the child already knows them as the father. But some say, hey, me gone, bye, I'm leaving.
And does a man have the right to sue a woman if he finds out that especially if she knew that the child wasn't his, does he have the right to sue her?
It's a question, no.
For deception, or I don't know what else it might come under. But
wait, what the man call it in here in the article? Something fraud. Paternity fraud. Yeah. So if a name, I mean,
you mean have a new thing in the law regarding? Well, no, that it come on the fraud generally, but but what it is that I was also going to say is that so even though he decides to stay in the child's life, every time he looks at this child, he's going to remember what happened.
Yep.
Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Morning.
I understand the outrage that you all are expressing about paternity fraud. But there's another outrage that I've grown up witnessing. That is men impregnating women all over the country. Some men with double digits number of children, 20 children, 13 children, an equal number of baby mothers. And I've never heard the same level of outrage expressed for that development, for that phenomenon as we're hearing now.
Pigeon, I have heard them. I've been a part of that outrage as well. I guess you didn't hear.
But the thing of it, Pigeon, is who do we put the blame? Because it takes two to tango, So if you know that a man has a particular reputation, why would you get involved with this man? Least of all, have unprotected sex with this man. So while it is that I do understand the
Yes.
outrage towards him, but there are some times that I also have to put the same outrage towards the same women who get themselves involved in these situations.
Fair enough. But the thing about it, which is more or less acceptable, the paternity fraud that you're talking about, or the swaying of wild oats, as they normally say. So
unless it's a case of deception where the man said that man doesn't say anything, but I was going to say like he's going to marry her and that kind of thing, or she's the only one in his life.
Yeah.
Those are the things that I could see. But otherwise than that, if you decide as a woman to be with this man, knowing his reputation, accept what happened.
Check it out. There's several males, especially elderly gentlemen now, who have children all over the place.
Yeah, true.
And the society never expressed the kind of outrage that is now being expressed with respect to
you know why?
Because this is different.
And you know why? Because man are gallus, right? These are the men who they would put on this other pedestal, and they would be the ones who, you are a man. You having 20-something children proves that you are a man.
They're not
those kind of
blanks,
that
like
kind of weird way in which people look at things.
So if you're holding the woman to account, you should hold the men to account to also engage in that kind of activity. That's the point I really want to make.
Okay. All right, Pigeon.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right. What was I gonna say? Something with regards to Pigeon. Anyway, do you have anything else, Dianna?
For me, I think that both of them are two different situations. One here is where a woman is okay. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Hi, I'm not going to make an apology for calling a second time. That caller is absolutely correct. We have one biological son, right? He's Bermudian. He was born in Bermuda. And we also have an adopted daughter from St. Vincent. I remember once I jokingly said to him, I'm going to have to take you just to St. Vincent to look for a woman because Bermuda is 21 square miles and everybody's related to everybody else. His sister said right away, no, you can't do that. All Vincentian women are used goods. I mean, she said that. I couldn't believe it.
And I hope you properly defended us.
I think I said, listen, that's an insult to Vincentian women because I know some very, very, very upstanding Vincentian women. But this is the concept. And I think, Dianna, this is one time I do not agree with you. I do not think that should be mandatory. That is demeaning of females. St. Vincent has some very good women. They also have some dogs like you.
But Joshua, we also while we accept good, we also have to accept that bad also exists, right? So
Yes,
there are some good women, but there are some women who are conniving and vindictive and deceitful.
And as your caller said, there's some dogs, some alley cats out there that jump on anything that wears a skirt.
Exactly, Joshua. In society, a man is praised for being that same way, but a woman who is promiscuous, the same man who would say, "Yeah, boy, you're a gallus, you're a top man," would say, "Boy, this woman is bad," and so on. So I know men that have 2, 3, 4 women, and these men would sit down with each other and talk about how women bad and wicked, and they all feel so. I can't even find the word, but they're happy with each other and they feel like they're saying truth. It's the same society have it, so society praises men for being promiscuous and then pull down women for doing the same thing. So that is not fair.
At all. Unfortunately, your daddy, there's no doubt as to a man having a child because men don't get pregnant.
Correct.
Right. So I am totally against having some, mandatory because it's demeaning the virgins out there. There are a lot of virgins.
But if them is a virgin, Joshua, if they're a virgin, what are they doing in hospital for DNA testing for baby?
Precisely. So I have to come to the defense of a woman because I love women. When I die, and I'm going off with this again. When I die, I like Sparrow say he wants a saltfish on the tomb.
Oh,
when I die,
Lord.
I want a woman on my tomb.
Bye, Joshua. Bye, Joshua.
What's going on here? Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Dianna.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand why people mixing orange and lemon together and all this thing. If a woman give a man a child that she knows is not the child, it's different than if a man go out and have 2 or 3 children with 3 different women. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he has a right to go and impregnate a whole heap of woman and go like that. But you can't equate the woman knowingly giving a man a child because he is more financially stable or more financially able to take care of the child. It's 2 different things altogether. And I will go back to what I said at the time. If I find out it's not my child and the real father step up, you have to give me back my money.
And I had told you already, you sue the woman, not the man. It's not the man's fault.
Well, whoever has to pay, somebody has to pay.
All right. Thanks, Gojo.
All right.
Dianna, you want to say something?
I can't even remember what it was. But I do agree that the 2 situations are different. We know of many cases. I've heard of grandparents who had 13 children here, there, and everywhere, who had 20-something children. But I still feel you can't compare it to a situation where somebody's giving somebody a child that's not theirs. For example, in this man's case here in SVG, they were together. They were in a relationship, which means that she was cheating.
And they were together for a significant time. Was it 30 years?
He said over 30 years. So she was going out and me.
And then I also had to wonder with this, if the children were for the same man.
Well,
would it for the same man or would it for other men? I mean, oh Lord. Yeah, right? That's our thoughts on this. Anything final you want to say?
Nah, I think that is it. Let me see if anybody said anything. No, not really. All right.
Okay. All right. So, yes, everybody needs to do the right thing. And I suppose if you're going to bring this back to Christianity, everybody can say, wait till you're married. Well, actually, no, because even wait until you're married,
it doesn't
things happen. Yeah, things happen even within a marriage. So let me not even
Correct.
Let me not even go there. All right, so we out of this segment. Okay, folks, we out.
Thinking of winning.